हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, स्वागत करता हूं मेरा यूट्यूब चैनल एजुकेशनल एकेडमी को। स्टूडेंट्स, आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे लाइफ प्रोसेसेस के बारे में। तो चलिए मेरे वीडियो को फास्ट से लास्ट तक देख लीजिए और अच्छा लगा तो मेरे चैनल को लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर कीजिए। चलिए शुरू करते हैं आज का न्यू क्लास लाइफ प्रोसेसेस। एट फर्स्ट इंट्रोडक्शन, लाइफ। व्हाट इज लाइफ? अर्थ हैपेंस टू बी द ओनली नॉन प्लैनेट हैविंग लाइफ. There are beings which live, die, and become part of nature again. The living organism can be differentiated from the inanimate entities on various parameters of life processes. Life processes. What is life processes? Maintenance of living organism is essential even if they are moving, resting, or even sleeping. Maintenance of life processes. Maintenance of living organism is essential even if they are moving, resting, or even sleeping. The processes which together perform the function of maintenance of life are called as life processes. The processes which together perform the function of maintenance of life are called as life processes. Nutrition, respiration, circulation, excretion are the example of essential life processes. In unicellular organisms, all these processes are carried out by that single cell. In multicellular organisms, well-developed systems are present to carry out the processes. Nutrition, respiration, circulation, excretion are the examples of essential life processes. Then next, nutrition. Nutrition. Okay. The process of acquiring food that is needed for nourishment and sustenance of the organism is called nutrition. The process of acquiring food that is needed for nourishment and sustenance of the organism is called nutrition. There are two main modes of nutrition: autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition has subtypes as holozoic, saprophytic, and parasitic nutrition. Holozoic, saprophytic, and parasitic nutrition. At first, autotrophic nutrition. If an organism can nourish itself by making its own food using sunlight or chemicals, such mode of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition. If an organism can nourish itself by making its own food using sunlight or chemicals, such mode of nutrition is called as autotrophic nutrition. Then plants photosynthesize, use light energy and are called photoautotrophs. Few bacteria use chemicals to derive energy and are called chemoautotrophs. Okay, then photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the important process by which food is formed. The plants make food using sunlight and water, which provides nourishment to other organisms and themselves. Photosynthesis is the important process by which food is formed. The plants make food using sunlight and water, which provides nourishment to other organisms and themselves. Chlorophyll present in the green parts absorbs light energy. This light energy is used to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is then used to reduce carbon dioxide into carbohydrates, typically glucose. Chlorophyll is essential for photosynthesis and stomata facilitate intake of carbon dioxide. Then stomata. Stomata are pores on the leaves that help in exchange of gases. They are mostly found on the underside of the leaf. Each stoma is guarded by guard cells, which control the opening and closing of the pore. The water content of the guard cells is responsible for their function. This is the stoma in open and closed state. Then next, saprophytic nutrition. Some organisms feed on dead and decaying organic matter. This mode of nutrition is called saprophytic nutrition. The food is partially digested outside the body and then it is absorbed. Example, fungi are saprophytes. Then parasitic nutrition. Some organisms feed on the expense of another organism and in turn causing it harm. This is called parasitic mode of nutrition. These organisms live on their body or in the body of a host organism and derive the nutrients directly from the body of the host. Example, leech is an ectoparasite while ascaris is an endoparasite. Cuscuta is a parasitic plant. Nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba feeds by holozoic mode of nutrition. In engulfs the food particle using pseudopodia. The process is called as phagocytosis. The engulfed food gets enclosed in a food vacuole. As the food vacuole passes through the cytoplasm, digestion, absorption and assimilation take place. When the food vacuole opens to out, addition of undigested food takes place. Amoeba phagocytosis. Holozoic nutrition in amoeba. This is the picture. Nutrition in paramecium. Paramecium also exhibit holozoic nutrition. However, they have cilia that help them to engulf the food through the oral groove. A food vacuole is created enclosing the food. It moves through the cytoplasm. The process is called cyclosis. Food digested in the food vacuole is absorbed by the cytoplasm. Undigested food is given out to a tiny pore called anal pore or cytophyte. Intracellular digestion in paramecium. Then nutrition in humans. The important topic. Nutrition in human. Humans are omnivores. Humans are omnivores. Okay. Humans are omnivores. They can eat plant-based food as well as animal-based food. Being more complex, humans have a very complicated nutrition system. The digestive system has an alimentary canal and associated digestive glands which together function to nourish the body. There are 5 stages in human nutrition: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. 4 stages, that is ingestion, digestion, absorption and egestion take place in the alimentary canal, while assimilation of food takes place in the whole body. Alimentary canal. Alimentary canal in humans is a long tube of varying diameter. It starts with mouth and ends with the anus. Oesophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine are the parts of the alimentary canal. Oesophagus, stomach, small intestine and large intestine are the parts of the alimentary canal. Then mouth. It is the opening of the alimentary canal and helps in ingestion of food. The buccal cavity which is present behind the mouth is also commonly referred as mouth. The buccal cavity has teeth and tongue. The set of teeth helps in mastication of food. The tongue has taste buds on it and thus helps in tasting the food. The salivary glands often also in the buccal cavity and pour saliva which initiates the process of digestion. Then teeth. Teeth are the hard structures present in the buccal cavity. They help us to cut, shear and masticate the food we eat. Vertical section of a tooth shows 4 layers is enamel, dentine, cement and dental pulp. Enamel is outermost, shiny, highly mineralized and hardest part of the human body. Dentine makes the bulk of the tooth and contains 70% inorganic salts. Cement is present at the lining of a tooth and bony socket. Dental pulp is the central soft part of the tooth and contains nerve endings, blood and lymph vessels along with connective tissue. There are four types of teeth in humans: incisors, canines, molars and premolars, each with a specific function. Incisors coat the food, canines tear the food, while molar and premolars crush it. The dental formula in adult humans is 2:1:2:3. The dental formula in adult humans is 2:1:2:3. Then oesophagus and stomach. Oesophagus. The swallowed food passes into the oesophagus. It is a muscular tube about 25 cm long with a sphincter valve opening at each end. Its function is to transport food and fluid. After being swallowed from the mouth to the stomach, food is pushed down by peristaltic movements. Stomach. The stomach is thick-walled, bag-like structure. It receives food from the oesophagus at one end and opens into the small intestine at the other end. The inner lining of the stomach secretes mucus, hydrochloric acid, and digestive juices. Food is churned into semi-solid mass in the stomach and is called chyme. Enzymes present in the gastric juice break down the food. Hydrochloric acid helps in partial digestion of proteins and also kills harmful bacteria. Mucus secreted by the wall of stomach resists the action of HCl on itself. Small intestine. The small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal, about 20 feet long in humans. It has regions: duodenum, the region which follows stomach; jejunum is the middle part, and ileum is the later region which continues further into the large intestine. The internal surface of the small intestine is folded into finger-like projections called villi. A common pancreatic duct from pancreas and liver opens into the duodenum. Most of the chemical digestion and absorption takes place in the small intestine. Then large intestine. Large intestine in humans is about 5 feet long. It has two regions: colon about 1.5 meter and rectum 10 cm in length in the adult. The region of large intestine after ileum is called colon, while the last part is called rectum. Colon has three regions as ascending colon, transverse colon and descending colon. At the base of ascending colon, a small finger-like outgrowth is seen and is called an appendix. It houses many useful bacteria required for digestion of food. Rectum opens to outside by anus. The anus has internal and external end sphincters. Small and large intestine. Okay. Peristalsis. A constant wave-like movement of the alimentary canal right from the oesophagus to the small intestine is called as peristalsis. Muscles present in the wall of the alimentary canal are responsible for peristalsis. This movement helps to push the food through the alimentary canal. Digestive glands. Several glands produce digestive juices that help in digestion of the food. Salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, gallbladder, pancreas are few to name. Salivary glands secrete saliva, which initiates digestion in the mouth itself. Gastric glands present in the wall of the stomach secrete hydrochloric acid and enzyme pepsin. The liver secretes bile, which is stored in the gallbladder. Bile helps in digestion of fats. The pancreas secretes many digestive enzymes and its secretion is called as pancreatic juice. The pancreas secretes many digestive enzymes and its secretion is called as pancreatic juice. Enzymes like trypsin, chymotrypsin, lipase, amylase, are present in the pancreatic juice. Pancreas. The pancreas is a long flat gland present behind the stomach in humans. It is one of the major digestive glands and is of mixed natural, that is endocrine as well as exocrine. As an endocrine organ, it secretes two hormones called insulin and glucagon, which maintain the blood sugar level. As in an endocrine organ, it secretes two hormones called insulin and glucagon, which maintain the blood sugar level. As an exocrine gland, it secretes pancreatic juice, which is nothing but a mixture of many digestive enzymes. The digestive enzymes secreted by pancreas include trypsin and chymotrypsin and protease, which digest proteins. It also includes amylase, which digests the starch content of the food. Pancreatic lipases are the pancreatic enzymes that help in digestion of fats. Anatomy of human pancreas. This is the structure of anatomy of human pancreas. Then holozoic nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which animals takes their food as a whole is called as holozoic nutrition. In holozoic nutrition, food passes through 5 steps as ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation and egestion. At first, physiology of digestion. Mechanical digestion of food takes place in the buccal cavity where teeth masticate the food, saliva gets mixed and it turns into a bolus. Digestion of starch starts in the buccal cavity itself with the action of salivary amylase present in the saliva. Salivary amylase converts starch into maltose. In the stomach, the churning of food takes place due to the muscular contraction and relaxation of its wall. It breaks down the food into simpler substances. Digestion of protein starts in the stomach with the action of pepsin. Proteins are broken down into smaller fragments called peptide by the action of pepsin. The bolus, after mixing with gastric juice, turn into a fine soluble form known as the chyme. Chyme enters into the small intestine where complete digestion takes place due to the action of various enzymes present in the pancreatic juice, bile and intestinal juice. The digested food is completely absorbed by the villi and microvilli of the small intestine. Undigested food then enters into the large intestine. Colon is responsible for absorption of water and salts, whereas rectum stores the undigested food temporarily before defecation. Digestive system in other animals. Digestive systems in different animals vary in structure and function. The structure of the digestive system depends on the food habits of the animal. Alimentary canal in herbivores is long as the cellulose content of their plant-based diet takes a long time to digest. On the other hand, alimentary canal of carnivorous animals is comparatively shorter because meat gets digested faster. Anatomy of digestive tract. Alimentary canal in humans approximately 30 feet 9 meter long. It starts with mouth and ends in the anus. Between these two openings, alimentary canal is the tube of varying diameter. Oesophagus, stomach, small intestine, divided into 3 regions as duodenum, jejunum and ileum, and large intestine having 2 regions as colon and rectum are the parts of the alimentary canal. Salivary glands, pancreas and liver act as major digestive glands. Glands present in the wall of the stomach and small intestine also contribute towards digestion of food. Role of HCl, hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid in the stomach is secreted by the gastric glands present in its wall. pH of the gastric acid is usually between 1.5 to 3.5. This acid serves following functions: converts inactive pepsinogen and prorenin into active pepsin and renin respectively, provides acidic medium for protein digestion, kills bacteria enter through food and prevents infection, prevents putrefaction of food in the stomach. A thick layer of mucus secreted by the mucous glands of the stomach prevents itself from the action of the gastric acid. Excess acid damages gastric mucosa and causes gastric and duodenal ulcers. Salivary glands. Salivary glands are the exocrine glands that secrete saliva and through a system of ducts it is poured into the mouth. In humans, the three major pairs of salivary glands are present: parotid, submandibular and sublingual. In healthy individuals, between 0.5 to 1.5 liters of saliva is produced per day. Saliva serves following functions in the oral cavity. It lubricates and protects the soft and hard tissues of the oral cavity. It also gives protection from dental caries. Saliva prevents microbial growth in the oral cavity. Saliva can encourage soft tissue repair by decreasing clotting time and increasing wound contraction. Saliva contains the enzyme amylase that hydrolyzes starch into maltose and dextrin. Hence, saliva allows digestion to occur before the food reaches the stomach. Saliva acts as a solvent in which solid particles can dissolve in and enter the taste buds located on the tongue. This is the picture of salivary gland. Heterotrophic nutrition. When an organism depends on others for food, such a mode of nutrition is called as a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. These organisms depend on autotrophs for their nutritional requirements. Example, animals which eat plants as their food are called herbivores. Animals which eat other animals as their food are called carnivores. Holozoic, saprophytic and parasitic nutrition are all types of heterotrophic nutrition. Glandular epithelium. Many small glands present in the inner layer of stomach and intestine take part in the digestion of food. These glands are present in the epithelial lining of stomach and intestine. The glands present in different regions of the stomach are called as gastric glands. They are responsible for the secretion of mucus, hydrochloric acid and enzymes like pepsinogen. The glands present in the epithelial lining of the small intestine and large intestine are called as intestinal glands. Glands of the small intestine are responsible for the secretion of intestinal juice, also called as succus entericose. Succus entericose. Intestinal juice contains hormones, digestive enzymes, alkaline mucous substances to neutralize hydrochloric acid coming from the stomach. Intestinal juice completes the digestion started by pancreatic juice. Glands of the large intestine are associated with absorption of water and electrolytes, villi and microvilli. Complete digestion and absorption of food takes place in the small intestine. Pancreatic juice coming from the pancreas, bile from the liver and intestinal juice secreted by the intestinal glands complete the digestion of food material. All the digested nutrients are absorbed by the long finger-like projections present in the ileum of the small intestine. These small finger-like projections of the inner wall of intestine are called as villi, singular villus. Each villus has its cell membrane of the lumen side again folded into microscopic processes called microvilli. Villi increase the internal surface area of the intestinal walls, making available a greater surface area for absorption. Digested nutrients pass into the semi-permeable villi through diffusion. Villi also help in chemical digestion of food by secreting digestive enzymes. This is the picture of villi and microvilli of the small intestine. Liver. The liver is the largest and major digestive gland of humans. Liver in humans is located in the upper right hand portion of the abdomen. This organ is dark reddish brown in color due to an extensive blood supply. Some of the important functions of the liver are as follows. It secretes bile that helps in digestion. It filters the blood coming from digestive tract before passing it to the rest of the body. It detoxifies various metabolites and drugs. The liver makes proteins important for blood clotting and other functions. It stores and releases glucose as needed. It processes hemoglobin from the dead and worn out RBCs for the iron content. The liver stores iron. Conversion of harmful ammonia to urea takes place in the liver. Digestive juices. Pancreatic juice, bile and intestinal juice are collectively called as digestive juices. A common duct from digestive glands pours the secretion into the duodenum. Chyme enters into the small intestine where complete digestion takes place due to the action of various enzymes. In the duodenum, the acidity of chyme is turned to alkalinity by the action of bile coming from the liver. This is necessary for pancreatic enzyme action. Bile also emulsifies the fats into smaller globules. Pancreatic and intestinal amylases break down the carbohydrates into glucose. Trypsin and chymotrypsin are the proteases responsible for the breakdown of proteins finally into amino acids. Lipase is the enzyme which acts on the emulsified fats and breaks them down into the glycerol and fatty acids. Water absorption in large intestine. The large intestine is not involved in digestion of food or absorption of nutrients. The major function of the large intestine is to absorb water from the remaining indigestible food matter and make the stool solid. The large intestine also helps in absorption of vitamins made by bacteria that normally live in the large intestine. The innermost layer of the large intestine also acts as a barrier and protects from microbial infections and invasions. Rectum stores the undigested food temporarily until defecation. ओके स्टूडेंट्स, तो आज के लिए इतना ही है। तो मेरा ये वीडियो आप लोगों को कैसा लगा कमेंट पे ज़रूर बताइए, और अच्छा लगा तो मेरे चैनल को लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर कीजिए। मेरा नेक्स्ट क्लास में मैं रेस्पिरेशन के बारे में डिस्कस करूँगा। ठीक है, तो चलिए, धन्यवाद।